It's Accountech Bytes, your bite-sized bulletin of bean counting bits and bobs with me, Tom Herbert. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this useful, please like, subscribe, or follow, depending on your channel of choice. Let's get started. And let's start proceedings with a little budgety bonus, as the Red Book revealed not one, not three, but two accounting tech morsels for us. First up, and the government will require electronic invoicing for all VAT invoices for B2B and B2G transactions from 2029. Not much detail at this stage, just 3 short paragraphs in the budget report, but a final decision on the exact details of the system will be published at the 2026 budget. And if you tuned in last week, then the second piece of news won't come as a surprise, because a developer with software in the Making Tax Digital for Income Tax testing program told Accounting Web he believes that a flaw in the system limited the numbers in the testing regime and could lead to a softer landing for the government's digital tax program. Well, today, that soft landing duly arrived, as HMRC confirmed that from April 2026, taxpayers won't be penalised for the late filing of quarterly submissions in their first year. A big thank you to Robin and the MTD Therapy Group for the early tip-off, which seems to have been a result of an email being sent out slightly too early. Seems to have been a theme for the day. Anyway, Emma Rawson has the details and confirms that the first wave of taxpayers joining MTD won't have to worry about being late with their quarterly updates. However, it will only apply to 2026-27. Those joining in the second year won't benefit from this. It only applies to quarterly updates, meaning penalty points will still be applied to the late filing of the return, and the new late payment penalty regime will still apply from April 2026 as originally planned. Let's talk about Bossware, and companies are increasingly turning to employee monitoring tools to make sure their workers aren't slacking off. Now, employers have been able to check things like emails or messages for quite a while, but this new breed of Bossware takes things a little bit further, allowing employers to track things like keystrokes and mouse movements down to the eye movements, gait, and facial expressions of employees. While micro-monitoring your employees like that sounds a bit paranoid, Bossware companies claim that it gives employers the confidence to allow their employees to work from home. Employees of several accounting firms I've talked to who have deployed software like that have given me a range of responses, from an annoying necessity that allows them to work from home, right through to it being a disgraceful invasion of privacy. Can you actually do that here in the UK? This from the ICO. The short answer is yes, but with express permission, unless there are special circumstances. A link to this and everything else in the video you can find in the description. Now, if you're watching this in the UK or Europe, chances are you may have had to click a cookie pop-up. As many of you know, this is thanks to data privacy rules back from 2018. However, the cookie could be crumbling. New rules proposed by the European Commission wants browsers like Chrome, Firefox, or Microsoft Edge to manage cookie preferences for you instead of pop-ups appearing on every website. So users can set their privacy preferences centrally, and the websites need to respect them. This from Computer Weekly, and following its part in the Post Office Horizon scandal, Fujitsu has raked in just under £110 million from its continuing IT service contract with HMRC in the last 6 months. Carl Fender reports that although that figure is 20 million less than the same period last year, it shows a reliance on Fujitsu in government that they just can't get away from, despite the IT providers' disgraceful behaviour. Let's get on to a couple of AI things. Ring that gong. And Big Four firm EY has unveiled a couple of AI capabilities in its tax transformation wing. So EY's AI Tax Labs and Tax Agent Factory are apparently going to accelerate tax transformation. I'm afraid this is a typical Big Four press release that has a lot of words but doesn't actually explain how they're going to do that. it does contain a word I've never come across before: solutioning. Moving on to Kiwi Cloud pushes Xero and their AI functionality, and we get a first look at the automatic bank reconciliation they announced at XeroCon a couple of months ago, thanks to the marvelously monikered Eli Danziger. So the goal is for Xero's AI agent Jax to work alongside users to automatically reconcile bank transactions where there's a high level of confidence. Users will have visibility over this automation on a new reconciled page where you can see bank and accounting details together with the ability to review or adjust any transaction. It says here on the Xero blog that the goal is to automatically reconcile more than 80% of bank statement lines in real time. A new one from me and Swedish fintech Mimo has unveiled Mimo Associate, which they're billing as an accounting colleague and combines multiple agents designed to cut down manual month-end close work without users having to change their core systems. And a couple of new things from document and practice management tool FYI, including a new copy document automation step, an integration with AML provider Zama, and a skip and continue option when running automation processes. Here's my latest analysis of the data from this year's Accounting Excellence Awards. We asked the firms and businesses that entered about their technology buying intentions and found that a lot of that spending is near term and practical, with most looking to invest in tech within 6 months and most looking to channel that investment into work that pays back quickly in terms of hours saved, predictable turnaround, and fewer errors. So things like automation, workflow tools, and practice management appeared repeatedly in the entries. And ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again. Every week I will be using this video to plug Fab 2026, our accounting event like no other. Come and see the latest tech in action and hear from the best speakers around, and me. 11th and 12th of March at the NEC in Birmingham. Get your tickets at fab.uk. Let's head over to MTD Corner now. And according to the latest report from the Administrative Burdens Advisory Board, awareness of making tax digital for income tax continues to rise, but questions remain on the benefits of the programme. So 71.9% of the 3,100 respondents were at least slightly aware of the project. That's up from 56% last year. However, 68.5% of those respondents saw no benefit to MTDIT, with only 9.3% believing it'll lead to more accurate records. An excellent piece here from the ATT's Autumn Murphy about the agent services account. So as many agents navigate it for the first time in preparation for MTDIT, there are common pitfalls to avoid. A gorilla isn't one of them, but it certainly looks like it has a headache. These include using the right government gateway ID and adding existing client authorizations to the ASA. And I'll leave it to our very own Jake Smith to round out MTD Corner with the MTD Accountability Club. So this is a live webinar, 8th of December at 2 o'clock. This month, the team are focusing on MTD myth busting, debunking some of those rumours for both your team and your clients. Here we're joined by Chris Downing from Sage and Stephen Worrell from SW Accountants. And a quick reminder to tune into the Accounting Web podcast, which you can find by searching for Accounting Web on your podcast player of choice. This week, the pod welcomed Cashflow and Staffology creator Dwayne Jackson, who's back with a new all-in-one practice platform, Sodium. Dwayne lifted the lid on the project, discussed where he thought the limits of artificial intelligence in accounting lie, and outlines why he'd be very surprised if he sold a third business to Iris. Do check that out. Anyway, that's your lot for today. Thank you very much for watching. As I said at the start of the show, if you could like, subscribe, or follow, I'd be immensely grateful. And to keep up to date with the fast-moving world of accounting technology, why not sign up for my weekly email? Pop your address in the box, hit the yellow button, and it'll be with you every Thursday morning. I'll be back next week with another video. Bye for now.